Muy buenas tardes a todo el mundo, or as we like to say in English, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, good evening.
Today's
good
the first
evening,
of
Scott.
Today's the 1st of July, 2021. I didn't normally say in the year of our Lord, but it's not the year of our Lord. Well, it is, but I just forgot to say it. El año de nuestro Señor. That's how we say it in Spanish. How are you doing, Assumpta?
Very well, very well. Here we are. Another 2075 or 76?
2075. What are you
2000.
talking? What are you talking about, woman?
Sorry, 276.
Oh no! Today is live stream number 279. That's what it is.
79,
That's what it is
76.
today.
Okay, so thank you and welcome.
And here we are today. We're going to be looking at some showreels. And first of all, we'd like to thank our what's known as the Familia de Cine, the film family, which you see around us today. Without them, everything that we've been doing for the last almost year and a half would be almost impossible. These people are with us. They form our family with us. They're actors, filmmakers, writers, and fellow travelers on this particularly peculiar road that we're all traveling down right now. And it is peculiar.
Yes, it is peculiar. Yeah, I mean, what about this person, Jose Luis Moreno? Huh?
Well, I think this is exactly the wrong place to be talking about that, because nobody out there, hypothetically, who speaks English will have an idea who this mafioso is.
Yes, well, we got a mafioso into our country. But apart from that...
Well, that's what I would love to do. I'd love to talk about that tomorrow in Spanish with the Spanish people.
Let's do it.
To talk about that, if I can overcome my technical issues, which are multifoliate or multivariate right now. Okay.
Very peculiar, the world now.
Hey, Crystal's here. Crystal, thank you for dropping by. I'm sorry for everybody who might have turned up last Thursday when I wasn't here, and when we weren't here, is because I was recovering from my second COVID vaccine.
Oh, yes, that's true. That was really awful, huh?
Well, it wasn't that bad.
Well, you didn't speak to me. You were just...
Well, that's because I was recovering from a COVID vaccine.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not,
It was not that bad.
it's not exactly bad.
Okay, well,
You know, it
you
could have
were in
been.
bed for all day.
Yeah, but I wasn't. You know, it's not like I was
No,
coughing up
but
blood
I mean,
or.
you weren't good, that's what I mean.
You know what I mean? It's not like somebody was pulling out.
What's wrong with you today? You were controversial for nothing.
When somebody says something like that, all you can ever do is agree with them. You're absolutely right. I'm very controversial today. Checkmate.
Okay.
Well, what else am I supposed to say?
Okay. So, yes, we couldn't be here last week, but we are here now. If you like our content, if you want, please retweet everything, put that on the wall, do things for us.
Share this if you're on Facebook. You can share it into your profile, though, where you can delete it afterwards. We won't be offended. And let everybody know what we're up to in any given way.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
And also, you know that you can also help us monthly with a contribution to patreon.com/Assumpta Serna.
And this is
Those
everybody's
are
there. Hopefully,
exactly.
no, that's still messed up. That is still messed up.
Well, he's having a hard time now with with his buttons and cables.
One of the problems is when you've done something almost 280 times, you'd expect it to get easier. You'd expect all the technical problems to have been ironed out by that stage. Unfortunately,
It's not. They're not.
it doesn't work like that.
And you don't know why, which is what really bothers you.
No, I do know why.
Oh, why is that?
I would explain it to you, but I would have to explain 15 other things to you first.
Okay, you mean...
Well, what I
I'll
believe
fall
there is,
asleep.
there's a connection between the system font module and the module that comes with the Adobe suite. So consequently, what happens is that one is not recognizing the other. You really think you want to talk about this here?
One is not recognizing the other.
So
Okay.
consequently, what you have to do is you have to force it to recognize it by opening an Adobe program.
Oh, wow. You came up with that, huh?
Well, somebody had to.
Good.
Basically, because if I didn't, nobody else would. I already looked it up, and there was, there's a special place in Google that I go to, and it comes back and it says, "Sorry, Scott, you're the only one with this problem on the planet. You better find a solution because nobody else will." That's what happens to me. So, anyway.
Also to tell you that this is going to be also on the podcast, right? In different platforms. And also tell
Well, it's normally on the podcast. The thing is, because this is so visually connected to what we're doing, because we're going to be reviewing showreels, it doesn't make a great deal of sense to put this, make this into a podcast.
Oh, I see. Of course.
You know what I mean?
Good,
Perhaps we could do that though. We could do it like, they do commentary on football. Like, and she's stepping up to the bar, and it looks like she's about to ask the boy out to. That's the thing. And she's forgotten her lines. There we go. That's what we can do.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do the video book. Sorry, the
showreels.
Showreels.
All right. If you want to do the honors.
Yes, let's do it.
Right, okay. Hit it sometime. Do the clappy bit.
Oh.
Today, we're going to be reviewing showreels. Right, so here we are. So the objective, for people who haven't seen this before, our objective is always to recommend whatever's going to help the actor and advise the people to get rid of the things that don't. When we're reviewing showreels, one of the first things that comes out more than anything else is the experience and the competency of the actor. If a showreel does anything, it has to show that you are competent. That's the raison d'être, raison de ser.
You have to be proud, right, of what you're showing.
Well, that's another element of it, which is it's very, very important for the actor that you feel good about the sort of thing that you're going to show everybody. Because the normal thing is when you're showing somebody your showreel, or they say, "Do you have a showreel?" You go, "Yeah, I've got one, but
I'm doing another one right now.
Yeah, I really need to update it, and all the rest of it." And one of the problems with that is, it's not good for you. Okay, there's a very interesting tendency that I'm seeing that's happening. It's happening in the UK, certainly happening in the United States, and it's definitely happening in Spain right now, which is that people have kind of leapt past the whole training thing and they cut straight to the demo reel.
It cannot be.
They're going straight to the showreel. Now, what does that mean? That means people are spending an awful lot of money on showreels and they don't necessarily really show them in their best light.
Yes, because they should, but the acting is not there. So be careful about that.
Now, that's not to say that you have to have years and years and years of training to be able to, be an actor. Of course not. There's children who are very good actors. There's people who are in their first projects who are well cast and are very good actors, or very effective in their roles, I should say. No, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're working with people who can at least help you if you don't know what you're doing, or if not, get to the stage where you do know what you're doing. And a lot of what we're going to look at today is the first thing we have to check out is to see whether people do or appear not to know what they're doing.
Okay. The objective is always not to harm the actor. So let's see the first one.
All right, let's go to the first one. Let's see where we are. Okay, so this is from Stanislav, who sent me this the other day. He's in Belgium, I believe. So let's go ahead and watch this.
It's okay, my colleague is the best. You're safe now. I'm Detective Lois. Can you tell me what happened?
Parlez français, s'il vous plaît. Oui. Monsieur Desegon. 小多带去小多. Asseyez-vous avec nous. Nous savons que vous aimez le polonais. Alors, c'est le temps de prendre notre langue. Regardez-moi et répétez. Jeszcze Polska nie umarła, kiedy my żyjemy.
Jeszcze Polska
Nie umarła. Nie umarła. Kiedy my? Kiedy my? Żyjemy! Żyjemy!
Ah, Dolores. J'aime me beurrer la biscotte.
Ah non, non.
Et il paraît qu'un rendez-vous avec moi, ça te ferait plaisir, ouais?
Enfin, à vrai dire, je...
Ok, j'ai de quoi te convaincre. Allô?
Those are closer to you than you think. My friend Tony, he went to the police with informations, and he never came back. You're the last one that want to hear this.
Comment est-ce que je pourrais te la présenter? Jade, c'est une femme délicate, douce, attentive, simple, éveillée. Parfois très enflammée, parfois totalement fainéante. Ses yeux sont pour moi dignes des plus beaux spectacles de l'univers.
Okay.
Okay, reactions or something?
When I close my eyes and I say, okay, what have I seen? I don't know. It's one of these video books that you have to see twice. I don't know. It's so little bits, pieces that, yeah, I cannot, it didn't grab my attention to anything.
First question, does he come across as competent?
Competent. I'll have to see it again.
Okay, let's watch it again. That doesn't happen to you very often.
No, I was distracted with, with a lot of things. Yeah, let's see.
Okay. For those of you who are just joining us, we are reviewing Actors ShowReels. Welcome to Lourdes Isabel, who's on LinkedIn, and Desiree. Yeah, how are you doing?
Jose Maria Guzman.
Oh, lots.
Stanislas Broder.
It's
Okay.
okay, my colleague is the best. You're safe now. I'm Detective Lois.
The problem here I
Tell me what
have
happened.
with that first bit is the light.
Parlez-
I cannot see you at the beginning, and when you are so close, you are looking somewhere, but I cannot see your eyes. So it's a kind of a failure because I cannot see you.
Yeah, but do you know? You don't. What you're saying is you don't notice him at all. There's nothing that you can identify him as who he is.
No.
Okay, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Français, s'il vous plaît. Oui. Essayez de secondes. 小朵带这小朵。Asseyez-vous avec nous. Nous savons que vous aimez le polonais. Alors, c'est le temps de prendre notre langue. Regardez-moi et répétez. Jeszcze Polska nie umarła, kiedy my żyjemy. Jeszcze Polska nie umarła, kiedy my żyjemy. Żyjemy.
Ah, Dolores. J'aime me beurrer la biscotte.
Ah non, non.
Et il paraît qu'un rendez-vous avec moi, ça te ferait plaisir, ouais?
Enfin, à vrai dire, je...
Ok, j'ai de quoi te convaincre. Allô?
Okay,
Those
at
are
this
closer
point.
to you than you think.
Okay, at this point, I need you to see acting. I need to see you in a scene where you're not playing a character, but you're telling me a story that doesn't need to be long, just not even a minute, but where you actually listen and talk, and it's about something that I can see you're acting. Because here is little bits and pieces, and I cannot really. So right now, I just want to see you, and I cannot see you. Still, I cannot see you. And this one here, I have a problem. Let's see it.
My friend Tony, he went to the police with informations, and he never came back. You're the last one that want to hear this.
Comment est-ce que je pourrais te la
Okay,
présenter?
about this bit, I really don't know if it's a comedy, if it's something that is made it serious, because the music it seems so, but
well,
what you're acting, no.
well, the music is attempting to be a pastiche of film noir. That's what it seems to be trying to do.
So it's a comedy.
Well, it's a pastiche.
Yeah. So
It's a sort of pseudo parody of something.
it's a parody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to know if it's a parody or it doesn't matter.
No, not particularly.
Okay.
In fact, if a parody is good enough, it looks like the real thing.
Yeah,
It's
but I
indistinguishable.
don't see the real thing here. What I see is something that tries to be something, but it's not even funny. I don't laugh. So
No.
I
That's because there's no. That's because there's no joke.
I don't think that is good enough for a video book. That is my take. In other hand, this one that is the last one, I like because I can see you. It's a nice light. You are you could be a lead character, instead of someone that does little bits of little roles. I like this one, the romantic scene. Let's see it.
Jade, c'est une femme délicate, douce, attentive, simple, éveillée. Parfois très enflammée, parfois totalement fainéante. Ses yeux sont pour moi dignes des plus beaux spectacles de l'univers.
Okay.
It's a better sell on her.
Yeah.
Well, she comes off better than he does in it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I can see, to this video book is that, of course, you've collected all these bits and pieces for things that you've done professionally, which is nice. But of course, the scene was not on you. Was about the scene. Today I was talking to someone that is going to do also specific things for a demo reel. And one thing is how we edit a scene, and the other thing is how we edit a scene for a showreel. It's very different, because what I want in the showreel is to see you. And what I want when I'm editing a scene is that the scene, it is balanced with the other actors, that really the words are the ones that, that are important, because I have to understand everything. So a general shot is important, but it's not very much important a general shot in a showreel.
When you say general shot, you mean a wide shot.
A wide shot, sorry. A wide shot. So you know what I mean? They are things. I'm not saying that you cannot put how you say general shot.
Wide shot.
Wide shot. In the scene, if that says to you something, but if it says something about you, but here the general shots, the wide shots are really because the scene needs it, not you. So that's what it bothers me, because what I want to see is what I want to sell. I think what you want to also to communicate is that you can do roles of importance, and of course in the professional world is not what you had. So what I need is to have to see your ability to act in a piece that really is important in terms of acting, and you are the lead. That's what I need in this video book. I need also to know exactly very well who are you in the first scene, the first shot, because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking who is he? Is this? You have to answer this question. You have to satisfy this need that I have to understand who are you, what kind of accent, everything, you're acting. So the first scene has to be something like that. If you put I don't know what nationality you were, and the accent is very, very good. Then I see, after after at the end that that your voice is wonderful, that you're that the French is wonderful, but I don't see that in the beginning. So I need one scene, at the beginning, that really shows in a minute or so your capability as an actor. Are you agree, Scott?
I concur entirely. One of the curious things that's going on here, and we deal with this a lot, which is actors who are working in several different languages. Of course, is beautifully subtitled where it needs to be subtitled. The other thing is, don't be afraid to show what you sound like. This is a thing that very often I'll discover an actor with a Spanish name somewhere, and I'll try desperately to find out whether they actually speak Spanish.
Yeah.
And that's always a nice thing to know and a nice thing to find out. So if you're an actor who can work and has worked in English, don't be afraid to show yourself speaking in your native language or another language which you speak well in. And of course, your language is your voice is so much more fluid and relaxed when you're speaking in French, because you're a Belgian, I believe.
But it's wonderful when you do, the accents and the Polish and all this is interesting, for me to see this kind of actor too. But first, I need something that it can, that is like the wide shot for you, something that really frames me about you, that I understand who are you at the beginning, because that is what I'm asking, what I'm questioning. When
I was watching, I was having a flashback to Sharp's Rifles with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only that, but also the countryside. The countryside is very.
Yeah.
It's very Ukrainian.
We know these uniforms very well. That's where we met in, doing a period piece exactly the same time.
Except instead of Napoleon's army in Poland or in the Rhineland, it would have been Napoleon's army
in Spain.
In Spain, of all things.
Ciudad Rodrigo.
In Ciudad Rodrigo and Badajoz. De toda la vida.
Anyway, so I hope you agree with us. That you really in a video book.
Demo reel. Showreel.
In a showreel.
Sorry, we're so used to calling them video books here in Spain. So showreel. If you hear us saying video book, we mean a showreel.
Big note here.
Showreel. We can maybe get it plastered on the wall over there.
Yes.
Call it a showreel.
Showreel. So perhaps in a movie, what you want is always to generate questions, but what you want in a video book is to answer the questions that the person who is watching has for you, which are first, how does he look like? Is he a good actor? What nationality? What kind of ranges he can do? What I could cast him on that is exactly right for it. What kind of profiles he has. You see, and those 5, it goes also in this order, because the first thing, you have to put this wide shot, that's who I am, and that has to be fabulous. That you have to answer to the I am a good actor in the first scene, and then everything and then there is Polish, and then there is English, and then there is, but at the beginning you have to answer the first question, because if not, they're gonna okay, no, because they don't have too much time. So the first scene has to be a decisive, very good acting scene. Very good acting meaning.
Oh, Stanislas is here.
Hey. Stanislas. You're here. Very, very good. So, I hope that helps. You have a wonderful voice. You have a wonderful presence. I want to see you more as a lead than a character that you create every time different. That is good, but in the middle or at the end. But I want at the beginning see you as this lead character that I'm looking for. Because if you are showing or communicating, I'm an actor that does small roles, it doesn't give you any justice, I suppose, because I see that you can be very competent.
You see, one of the things is, and nobody will really admit this, and nobody's really thought about this much, but one of the things that all agents, for example, are looking for is the sort of person who can be the lead in a movie or a TV show. Why do they want that? Because they want great work for you or anything? No, because you get paid more money. That's one of the reasons that they're looking for that. They're looking for people who have the competence, the charisma, the dynamic, and somebody who's interesting enough to lead and carry a TV show or a movie. And so what we have to do and what we have to be conscious of trying to do is to create things which makes people want to see more of us. That's a rather important consideration. That we have to have something that they can begin to imagine us in other places and other roles. And that's one of the other things that we have to deal with. There's something that makes us look good, makes us sound good, and more than anything else makes us so interesting that they want to see more.
Yes, I want to repeat something because it was my revelation there, and I think it's a very good phrase.
That's some revelation moment. Okay.
Revelation moment is the
And-
acting.
And hang on.
So,
and
yes,
action or something.
the goal of you as an actor is to generate questions in the spectator. The goal of you as an actor in a showreel is to answer the questions that they have about you. Good night.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I would add something else, is to answer the questions they didn't know they had about you.
Okay.
There you go.
I like
I've
that.
got Eduardo Cervera. Hello, Eduardo. He says, can I send you a self-tape to comment on? I'd love to comment on a
Of
self-tape.
course.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's fascinating. Self-tapes, like orange is the new black, blue is the new green. Self-tapes are the new demo reels or show reels. And in fact, over the past year, we've seen an increase sort of in the sophistication of the sort of self-tapes that people are putting in, to the extent where when people are getting good at it, their self-tape is almost more worthwhile and more useful than a put together show reel or demo, because the person gets to show what they're capable of. The danger always is in a show in a self-tape is that people are trying to show how good an actor they are. And that's the last thing anybody wants to see. Remember, it's the one thing you can't control as an actor, is how good you are. It's impossible.
You have to do your job, but you also have to, to understand what is the material that is going to give you this quality. And this quality has to be, something that is near you, that is not something that you are, desperately creating a character, with a carrot there at the end. No. They want to see you, They want to see you. That's the difference. In theater, we create characters. In movies, we are the character. Sorry, I am a little bit
Wow,
mic dropping.
You're a little bit. I like it. It's just good. Look, here's a good question from Crystal, and it's a question we get very often. Crystal asks, "Is it acceptable to use pieces from a stage production in your reel?" The answer is absolutely not, and yes, sometimes. What does that mean? Well, not everything works. Okay, if it's something particularly spectacular or it's really well shot, because every single stage production right now, and particularly with the workflow in selling a stage show here in Spain, is everybody shoots the play or the stage show, whatever it might be. The main problem is a play or a show is designed for this very, very large window. It's the proscenium arch of the stage. It's very, very big. The camera is very, very small. It's one person. The stage is trying to take into consideration hundreds and sometimes perhaps thousands of people. If it's decently shot, usually that means it's either shot with 3 or 4 cameras, the sound is decent, or it's been shot specifically on stage to show people. You see this sometimes with fragments of plays or fragments of a stage show. If you look, for example, a great, because people go, well, it never works, does it? Well, I don't know. I watched Hamilton. It worked pretty well. It worked like gangbusters. But that's because they took the show and they used the camera to illuminate and highlight and put a frame around the important parts of the show. For example, the King's Song, which is magnificent, it's almost entirely in close-up. Why is that? Because he is the only thing on stage, and the only thing you're looking at is his face. So the logical thing to do is to just show that. The majority of things that are recorded on stage are not particularly sophisticated, and the main problem is the sound more than anything else. Now, there's another exception to that rule, and the exception to that rule is that sometimes if you've got a small play or a show that's in a smaller space, then you can actually shoot it from the point of view of the audience. And I've seen things like that, and they've been very, very effective, where effectively you've got the people around you, and if it's a comedy, for example, you'll hear them laugh, and you'll be able to feel like you're in with the audience. That can be quite effective. But for the most part, it's usually older stuff. It's a little bit more complicated, and it's no longer really necessary, because we have access to, everybody has on their phone a great camera, and the microphone isn't that bad. The thing that people are interested in is seeing you be and think and sit deeply into who you are.
Think is one of the things, is to share the thoughts, not the words.
Wow, that's a good one, eh?
Is really, that's what you have to show in your first scene, your thoughts.
Eduardo's trying to send me a link to YouTube. Thank you, Eduardo. Unfortunately, if you think I can go to a YouTube page and make sense of this while we're live, you're dreaming me. If you want to do it, you're going to have to send me the original file, and then I can see it, okay? You can send it to WeTransfer. You can send it to... Let me just see if I got a simple one here. You can send it to here. Scott@familiadecine.com. You see, that's all messed up. That makes no sense. Is that there? Look.
He's very
there we go.
outraged with the buttons.
I'm very outraged. Look, it's back. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like.
Why is that?
I could explain it, but then I'd have to kill you.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry.
It's just torturous.
So remember,
And
who is this actor? That is the first question. Who is he?
Who is this person
Who is
we're
this
watching?
person? Exactly. No. Where is he from?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is he a good actor? Those are the three main things.
Is he a competent actor?
Is he a competent actor, but good actor? Some casting director, bad casting.
They're going to say
director,
they're going to say good. Yeah.
good actor.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what kind of accents he can do? What else he can do? What kind of registers, how we say? What kind of profiles?
Different sort of characters can he play?
Different characters that he can play. And if you answer all these questions, you are in business.
Yeah.
Positively, of course. Not, where is he from? I don't know. No. Is he a good actor? No, he's a bad actor. No. It's not only to answer negatively, positively.
Because the important thing is our friend's called Stanislas Lodzki-Abrodzki.
Exactly. And so the thing is gonna really be someone that speaks very good French or very good English. Where is he from? That is interesting. You have to, with his name, you have really to make an effort.
Yeah. All right. Let's.
I mean, like me, Assumpta Serna, the people don't know from where he's.
I thought you were from India.
Where he's from, exactly. So the first thing I have to do is say I'm from Barcelona, Spain. It's like, because if I say Barcelona, people are going to say, what? Where? Sometimes, okay. So I have to qualify it all the time, and it's nice that I have something in Catalan in my show reel.
Well done. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, you're gonna have to give me a second while I change video here. Okay, so. Or
if your interest is to go and start a international career, perhaps yes, you have to show a little bit more that you can do a lot of these accents. You can do different scenes because, like that, a little bits of everything. You really, we don't have time to know if you can actually do it.
All right, let's have a look at this one. M. Fuck. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
We talked about this. Am I fucking imagining it?
We did talk.
I didn't talk. Talk the went on for hours. Well, like a fucking idiot, I thought you might change. Did we agree?
That I wouldn't drink.
No, Ben, I mean, that's obvious that you'd stop drinking. That you'd at least try. But that's not what stopped me from leaving, was it? What was it? Do you even remember?
Yes, I remember. It was to be honest with you. If I found myself drinking again, at the very least, to let you know, to be honest with...
To be honest with me. To be honest. So why didn't you?
I don't know. I was ashamed. When I let you down, that I couldn't stop myself.
This is letting me down. It's not even the drinking anymore, it's the constant lying. Fine, not being able to stop drinking, okay, on some screwed up way, I get that, but lying to me, lying to me was the one thing you promised me you wouldn't do. And from the looks of things, you've been lying to me for a long amount of time.
Okay, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
Excuse me.
I can't win. I can't win this argument with you. If you don't understand how difficult it's been for me, how hard I've tried to make this work, how I've tried to force it to work every minute of every day. Yes, it is totally fucking insane.
Great workout, huh? Yeah, I really felt it, you know? I'm literally sweating everywhere. I mean, not like everywhere, but you know what the normal places, like head and forehead and hairline, which is annoying because I washed my hair this morning, you know, and I don't want to wash it again. What a faff, right? I'm trying to do that thing, you know, where you don't wash your hair so often, to trying to train it to not get so greasy. I do shower though. I wash all the time. Sometimes like twice a day if I'm feeling really sticky. But not that I'm a sticky person. I'm you know, a regular, non-sticky person. Like Teflon. I get sticky when I sweat. So. Do you sweat?
I sweat when I work hard.
Right. And yes. and do you work hard?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I suppose, please.
This is going to sound weird, especially as it's 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, but I have a bottle of wine in my bag, and no, not because I'm an alcoholic or anything, I'm going to a friend's later, but I was wondering, I don't know, maybe after this you fancy having some wine with me. It's chilled. I said it was chilled.
And cut.
Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty darn good.
So this is one of those showreel companies, Slick Showreels, it seems. I think we could do a show just on review. What we should do is we should review showreels from showreel companies. That's what we should do. This is kind of interesting. One of the things that the showreel companies are doing very well is sound and image. Okay, they got the sound thing down, they got the image thing down. They're dealing with they've obviously got director of photography. Technically, everything's working well. The editing is fine. The real place it falls down in the first place is usually the scripts. That's the first thing, because they churn out scripts and everybody wants to do an original scene, which is completely reasonable. I can completely understand that. And they have to do it pretty quickly. Somebody will ask for it. They'll say, okay, we'll go ahead and do it. They'll have an interview. they'll say, what sort of thing would you like to do? And they'll kind of sit down and they'll go, all right, what I want to do is a really dramatic scene, like we saw here first off. And then I want to do like a comedy scene. Okay, they're very fortunate because Ali here is really shines in the second scene. It's very, very nice, very competent, light touch comedic acting. There is a question here which Lourdes had, who's in Argentina. She says, when it started, is it his or hers?
It's exactly what I thought. You have to establish, as we already said in the other comment of the Stanislas.
Well, the other thing, the downside is that Ali is both a boy and a girl's name.
Exactly. Because I don't know, Ali, if he's a boy or a girl. So, when I see it, and because the first scene is so equal from her and he, I don't know what is she, was he, is she, I don't, so I cannot, because that is what is going on in my head, who I have to watch there carefully, so perhaps, a picture at the beginning, perhaps, also a scene that who establish who you are, I think would be the best, because I like the second scene too. I like when there is you show that it's a very competent thing between the two actors, and the two actors are good, and you can see that it's a good scene. That you do it in a film, in a movie, and it's fine. The other actor also shows that that he's good. And it's a good companion. Everything, because it is very well balanced. But at the beginning, you don't want balance. What you want is you. So
this is my issue, and this is and it's not got to do with the showreel, because I think the showreel shows you off very well, and I think you come across as being very competent. But this is a piece of advice for people who are going into, who are having people writing material for them, or they're writing it themselves. And this is it. The first scene falls into a very obvious trap, which is somebody has a secret, which is they're an alcoholic. The other person is fully aware of this secret, as indeed is the first person. And they start attacking them. They evade them until eventually they explode and the person says, I can't take anymore. Okay? That's the logical and perhaps obvious way that the scene should go. Internally, it's written very adequately. There's absolutely no issue.
Acted is very well.
It's acted very well from both parties. You're both really good there. One of the things I would say, and this is important for if you're thinking about writing, is you need to go into if you know anything about the idea of dramatic improvisation. Now, comedic improvisation, everybody knows. What you do is you never say no. All you ever do is say yes and. That's how that works. In dramatic improvisation, you can say no, but you can't say no in the same way. What you actually have to do is you actually have to find a different tactic or strategy inside the thing that you happen to be doing. Because otherwise it becomes repetitive, and then it will reach a climax when it'll either break or it'll separate. It'll either, they'll go in both different ways, or they'll come into actual physical conflict.
What I would do if I was you, or I would advise you about what to do with managing your career, what I would tell you is that there's to work, but you need another one at the beginning. Another one at the beginning that perhaps it shows you, a reflective or a kind person that you are speaking to, perhaps to a little boy, a little girl, you because you are very castable also as a mother, and this is a profile that you don't have it there, and it's nice that you give this first impression of, okay, what I can be cast on, that's me. If you are someone that they're speaking to a little girl about, it can be a lot of nice things about, sensitive, or, things that problems that, I don't know, sexuality, for instance, to say one. And
now this is the 21st. This is the 21st century or something. Nobody ever discusses sexuality.
No.
Of course they do. I'm being sarcastic.
Of course. Or about gender, if you want. I mean, something that is right there, in the, in the exterior, in the in the context. So that is good, some kind of theme that is now that you can give a point of view. And I won't really close up where it's a conversation that is not yelling, that is not comedy, it's you. No? If it's not that, then a good picture that says immediately that Ali is a woman, a very, very beautiful woman. So that's what I would say. It depends on your budget and your time, but if you can, I think that if you put another scene, and if you do, if you give, if you take our advice, then I would love to see it again, because you think that you're a very good actress, and you show it, But I like to see more, some other profile that you can also do, and is more near you, intelligent, sensitive woman.
It's a good. It's fundamentally a very good showreel because it shows two extremes. It shows this very committed, dramatic thing without fear, and it shows something which is very light and very comedic and very self-effacing, which is, you can't really, between those two things, everything else lies.
I cannot say that is that you are a bad actor there at all. It answers one of my questions. Is she a good actress? Yes. What she can do, I suppose, and other things also that I don't see.
Well, between those two extremes, you get pretty much everything else.
Yes, but I think that would be not bad to give them some ideas on, what else you can do that is very castable, that everyone is going to think immediately about you for, because you are a good actress and you demonstrate it afterwards, but something that shares your thoughts,
So I have a curiosity here. What I have is young Eduardo Cervera Retamar, who had just sent me a self-tape that he did, a scene that he shot.
Okay. And you want to see it?
Well, because I'm working behind the scene. Because I'm working behind the scenes here. Let's see if this is something that could be useful.
Great, Scott.
What?
Great. Okay, let's see it.
Okay, here we go.
You told me I was crazy. You told me I was crazy for even thinking it. If we don't have trust, we have nothing. You said that to me, you remember? You know what I'm talking about. There's no Emma Fox. I'm only going to ask you this once, and I need you to tell me the truth. Are you or were you ever fucking your therapist? Answer me. Answer me! I've done nothing but adopt you, support you, love you. And look at what you've done to me. You dig into my past, you dissect my life. You paint me out to be this monster. Someone who can hurt people, who can do horrible things. But who is the monster here? Really? Why? Is that true? Say it again. I love you too.
Okay, right.
Well, it's a smart text, Eduardo.
Yeah, right. This is what I gotta tell you. Right? And it might be just me. but I don't think it is. The only difference is that I know what it is.
Okay.
Right? Try to resist ironic laughter.
Yes.
Try to resist it.
Yeah.
With every fiber of your being, because what it does is it's not the character doing it, it's the actor doing it, because we're crossing a line where I believe what it is, scientifically speaking, is that our hormones are about to take us across the line into the world of cortisol and stress hormones. When we go, what we're doing is we're giving ourselves a little burst of whatever it is that brings us back across that line and keeps us out of being in that state, which is unpleasant. And we don't want to go there, ever. Okay? That's a thing.
As an actor, we do that, and you have to resist that. I counted 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hollywood huffs. Or ironic laughter. Yeah.
You did you? Just that little thing.
It's just that little thing, yeah.
The other thing is because of who you're talking to. Remember, because this is so intense, people would go, does it not have that fixed stare that you're always talking about? Well, there is a fixed stare, but it's justified. But there's another thing which is important. I'm going to put myself here like this for a second. Is that you can have this fixed stare, and you can ask something of somebody. And then you can see if you can see anything else. You can do that, but the idea is that you need more from this other person that's going there. So if I go, I'm going to kill you. You see, it like blows it away. But this is the thing, and I'll show you where it is. And there's a point right at the end where, and it's very much because I see you getting to the end of the text, and what happens is I see your sort of sphincter unclenches. You kind of like your ass goes, oh, okay, we're good now. And we'll have a watch of it again, but it's a very interesting thing.
What we have really to...
Your sphincters are very interesting.
No, another thing that I wanted to tell you, Edu, is that we need to see the thoughts of the other person on your face. Okay? And that...
Wow, that's a good one, huh? That is a pearl. Write that down.
Yeah, we need to read the thoughts.
We need to see what the other person is thinking on your face. Why didn't I think of that before?
Well, that is what... I'm sorry.
Don't touch me. I'm
disgusted
with
together
myself.
here.
No, I know. I'm joking. No, that's very, very good.
We have to because, there is no one there. There is no... any sound. It's so raw that, of course, the first thing I see, the first thing that comes to me is he's an actor. I don't believe in the possibility that there is another person, and as a spectator, I never. You don't have let me to think that he's an actor. No. So because there is no another person, you have to put an effort to really convince me that there is another person, even if I don't hear it, even if I don't see it, even, you know what I mean? That there is no person. There is in your imagination the person, and then I can see, wow, he's a very good actor, at the end, because I didn't think about that. You really sold me the idea that there was another person. That's what, if I see the thoughts of her in your face or on your face, I don't know, in your face, then is I can, I buy it, if not, it destroys all the purpose of this monologue.
He says, you're totally right. 5 puffs, right? Fuck. The idea was to play the half psycho
kind guy.
Great to know about the sphincter. We'll watch it again. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. It's very interesting. Right, so let me just pause this here, move that there, and then we'll come up here.
And at the beginning.
Okay, lighting is lovely. The sound, I can't work out whether it's rain or some audio artifact. It's actually not that terrible. because it actually sounds like ambient sound, and it's sufficiently. It's not, but it'd be better if it was quiet, obviously.
But you see, with a little bit of, of touches of acting, if you could have a tutoria with Scott, that would be great, and that proves that you don't have to have a lot of cameras a lot of production to really come out as a good actor. So it's a good example. Is a nice try. Is a let's do it. Let's continue doing it, because that's what it takes. We want to see not the lights, not the cameras, not the context. We want to see you as an actor. So yes, you can do that in your home with a nice light and knowing a little bit about the possibilities of your phone.
The only thing I would suggest, and this is a piece of advice, because I really like this lighting. I think a black background looks really, really good. The only thing I would suggest is that if you can, this is a piece of advice for everybody, top tip, is that if you can find some way of throwing a light on the back of your head.
Yes.
Okay, which will make you pop out from the background.
Yes.
Then it will look completely pro. Okay, that's what we've got going on here. That's how this works, because otherwise, it just makes us stand out more. And particularly when you got a black background, you can see I'm going to move us up here. This part around here, if you have just a little something here, which actually creates a more three-dimensional space. But it's very nice lighting. Classically, it's from the left. You're following a kind of Vermeer and Caravaggio principle there. It looks nice. You got it in both eyes. You know what you're doing with the light. It's great. Right, so from the start. 1.
You told me I was crazy.
Right. Dude, what are you... Right, just from the point of view of English, what the hell are you saying there? You taught me I was crazy? Because it's... Or you told me I was freezing?
Really? You don't hear it well. Okay,
what did you get?
You need a tutorial with Scott.
No. What did you get? No, because it sounds...
You told me I was crazy.
Yeah, no, but Eduardo speaks spectacular English.
You
I know
told
that.
me I was crazy. That's what I got.
No, I got that bit. I thought he said freezing.
Okay.
You told me I was crazy.
Crazy.
Okay.
You told me I was crazy for even thinking it. If we don't have trust, we have nothing. You said that to me, you remember?
Love the way you say that. Love it. When you get to the point, you're giving us both barrels.
You know what I'm talking about.
2.
No, I buy that. That's good.
That's buy.
That's the guy doing it.
Okay.
That's the guy who's afraid to be what he's thinking. I love that little look off. Okay.
Oh, the look off, yes, but it's ironic.
We don't have trust. We have nothing. You said that to me. You remember? You know what I'm talking about. There's no Emma Fox.
There's no Emma Fox?
I don't understand that.
We didn't get that, and I don't think Crystal got it either. There's no... Let me see what he says.
There's no Emma Fox.
You're going to have to tell me what you're saying there, buddy. I can't hear. I don't understand.
I'm only going to ask you this once, and I need you to tell me the truth. Are you or were you ever fucking your therapist?
Nice.
Yeah, but...
Answer me. Answer me!
I need to know more about her. What's going on? Where is she? What is she thinking? What does she do?
I don't know. We got Alba who's piped up. He says this is from the series You. Go Team Joe. There is no Emma Fox. There's no Emma Fox. Thank you. That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said. I wasn't sure though. But yeah, I get it now.
Another one.
I've done nothing but told you, support you, love you, And look at what you've done to me. You dig into my past to dissect my life. You paint me out to be this monster. Someone who can hurt people.
Right. This is what I got to say.
4. I've counted 4, right?
You have to make a decision here. Does he really think he's a monster? That's the important question here. Does he really consider himself to be a monster or not? Because it might be a little bit more interesting if he's not. You see, this is the curious thing. If you just take the text out of context, perhaps he's completely aware that he's a monster. But it's like anybody who's stalking anybody or kidnapped anybody or doesn't let anybody go, because they just want to show how reasonable they are by doing unreasonable things.
I guess he says, Eduardo Cervera says, I guess I should have put in her voice in post-production. Yes, it's from you.
You should drop Alba a line. She obviously knows the scene.
You don't need it.
No.
You don't need it.
It's not necessary, actually.
Not necessary. What you need is to see her thoughts on your face, really. You know, you say something and immediately this person has a reaction, has something that, you know, when you yell, you know, it's like, and then what's happening to you is like, oh shit, I just, or good, suffer, or whatever it is, you know, but we have to imagine her reaction and what you're thinking.
Now, if it's you, and I think we've watched both seasons of it, is that he also doesn't want to hurt her, but it's for her own good. You know, it's like when you get angry with somebody and you see how hurt they are, then you stop being angry. I'm told. I've never been angry with you in my life, obviously.
This morning, darling.
This morning?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. I cried the rest of the day.
Exactly.
But that's an important consideration, is that you're not actually a monster. She just doesn't get it. That you're there, you're just trying to protect her. And she shouldn't be with these terrible men, like her therapist. You know? You have to resist those things.
You can do
You have the greatest facial hair, I got to tell you.
horrible things. But who's the monster here?
It's a little bit actory, this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit actory. It's not, I don't believe you there.
Why?
Yeah. Of course, you wanted to have a character that was a little bit wacko, but, you know...
A little bit wacko.
I don't believe it there. Do you?
No, most people will buy it, though.
Yeah, I don't.
Most people will buy it. You're better than that. Yeah. I want to get on because there's a moment here which is just delightful.
Let me stop it there.
Yes.
Exhale is never good. In one scene when there is so much tension, if you exhale, you calm yourself. Is the reaction that I have in my head. Okay, so I see someone that, and then I say, okay, you know, he's calm, and I want to see, you know, you have to, you know, juggle me. You have to. The tension cannot be away. It's there. I don't know what I can do. Perhaps you're gonna kill her. Perhaps you're gonna, you know. I have to have this sense of danger.
This is one of the things.
Not a relaxing thing.
It's one of the things that I've talked about frequently, and I think I talked when I was on my own one day. Is that when we go to acting school and we learn how to act, one of the first things they do is they teach us how to breathe. But one of the things we do as real people is we actually stop breathing. We actually stop breathing. And I think it's probably some kind of evolutionary response. You know, if appears a wild animal, we'd go and we do everything in our power. And I think some part of our lizard brain deep inside it still has that same response that when we're in a moment of tension, or it also happens when we're trying to think of something. I did this experiment once, I think, when we were live, as I made everybody breathe deeply, right? Now try and do a mathematical calculation. Try and multiply 256 by 7. It's almost impossible.
Yes.
But if you hold your breath or you stop breathing, what happens is I believe it creates a stability of oxygen inside our brains. I think that's what it does. I think it's creating a kind of plateau of stability that allows us to come up with
the next thought.
And certainly it also happens when we are formulating a thought, is that our breath stops before it comes out again. I've just had a revelation.
Okay. He couldn't do that with an Excel, actually. You've seen what he did?
Yeah, but you know what my revelation is about?
Okay.
My revelation is specifically about the verbal pause. What we also do is we teach people about speaking in public. That's one of the other strings to our bow, as it were.
Two priests, after all.
Exactly. And one of the things that we're always trying to avoid, whether it's in Spanish or in English, is the idea of the verbal pause. A verbal pause, which we all do, and I do it myself, is when we do this. I think the verbal pause is us trying to kickstart our brains into a new idea. When we actually have clarity in the thought that we're about to present, say, extol, describe to everybody, then we have a certain amount of calm before that particular storm of thought that comes out. And what that allows us to do is it allows us to create that calm, present it, and place it very precisely.
Yeah, so you say that the verbal pause is something that we do to start...
To kickstart another thought or a different thought. To join one thing to the next, where there may be no juncture, as it were, no joining point, no nexus. So I think that might be something that we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Because the other thing is that thought is very fragile. That's why we forget what we're thinking about. I was about to say something and I actually just forgot it. The irony being that I was about to say something about how we forget about the things that we're about to say, which is...
Just say it.
I know, I can't remember now, it's gone. Right, so here, we're at the end of this.
Is that true? Say it again. I love you too.
Okay, so Eduardo says...
Before I exhaled there, she said, I love you. I was trying to show getting a bit disarmed, not making excuses, just filling the holes I left in there. Okay, I
filling the holes. We're back to sphincters again. Okay, so thank you.
Sweetie.
I'll be here all week. Try the veal. Right. So let's go back a little bit and see what we missed.
Is that true? Say it again. I love you too.
That's specifically what you're talking about. You want to see the other person's thoughts on their face.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very astute. Well done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll buy a case of beer for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't drink beer. Yeah. Okay. Perhaps here you need something, someone to say I love you.
But this, look. The other thing is that we're not just putting this under a magnifying glass. We're putting this under a microscope.
Yeah,
it's very competent. It's very on point. The sound is perfectly acceptable, even with that sort of shh going on in the background. The lighting is nice. You look good, as Crystal says. He has a great look.
Let me see the exhaled when after she said that I love you. I want to see this thing that he says.
Oh, thanks. But who's the monster here? Really? Why? Is that true?
Okay. It has to be processes of thought. You cannot go from one thing to the other. When you are alone and the people are watching you, you have to share the thoughts with the audience.
So
your
you're
thoughts.
so you're thinking.
Why is she telling me that? It's really, she says to you, yeah. Oh, I'm convinced now.
And this is people go, well,
that's so great.
how do you
No,
how
you
do
cannot go from one to the other extreme.
Well, and this is the trick: is you decide what you're thinking, and think of it as a sentence. We do that when I've used this example many times when we can't find our keys, and we end up running around the house, and we have this mantra that's going on in our head, which is saying, "Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Where are my keys? Where are my keys?" Eventually start saying out loud, "Where are my keys?" We will say it out loud. This will also happen if we walk into the room and somebody sees us walk into the room and they'll see that we're looking for something because we're asking in our heads, where are our keys? And we'll walk in looking for something. And it's not that they don't register it as our eyes dotting around, whatever it might be. They see the thought of somebody looking for something. Okay? Which is manifested in various different ways. But what you're always trying to do is to see what somebody's thinking.
I don't know, but to me, it happens a lot of things when I say about the keys, because I think, I don't know about you, but my process of thoughts is that, I see something, and then to really look for things, then I see things, and these things, if I look them exactly how I have to look them carefully, then it distracts me from my thought. Right? And then I don't know what I was doing it. The keys. And then I say it aloud.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, the process of thought about, my keys, that I should arrange that. The keys, So this kind of thoughts, sharing the thoughts of your process is really, you need to do that, because that is good acting. Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Remember, they're not interested in what you're saying, they're interested in what you're thinking. Okay? If you can do that in a self-tape, or you can do that in a casting or an audition, then you're giving them something that they don't know how to describe it, but they know it when they see it. When they say, have fun with it, right? Have fun with it. Don't worry about it. Just, whatever. What they're basically saying is stop trying to impress us and just be, because they're not necessarily interested in the words, because they've heard 30 other people say them that day. But what they're really interested in is somebody who's showing us what they're thinking. And curiously enough, if you're cold reading something, you should be doing the same thing too.
I had that revelation.
Revelation of Assumpta.
The thing also, if this person would be there, you have so how you say mirada fija?
Fixed stare.
Fixed stare that we would tell you, don't look at her.
Yeah.
We buy it because we know that there is no one there.
You're off camera, yeah.
But also that is fake, you see. What you want is to have the impression that, yes, there is another person there. So, you cannot fake words, but you can actually fake thoughts. So that's what we want. We want this woman to come and from one state go to another state, for her to be able to say, I love you. And we want you to actually be, what? Why you are saying to me that you love me now, if I am in another, oh yes, oh yeah, oh, me too.
I've got a terrible confession. Not only can you fake the state and fake the other thing, I've also faked the quality of the other actor.
Yeah.
I've actually I was working with somebody who had very little experience or whatever, and it was, instead of asking, of hoping that they would give me what they want, what was necessary in this moment for the scene, I pretended they did.
Mm-hmm.
I pretended they did something that they didn't do. It was one of those moments where you go,
yeah.
But what do you mean?
That happens a lot of times.
You know,
with me.
and it was one of those things where you're like, I can't hope that they're going to do the right thing.
Exactly.
Sorry.
No. And also from one take to the other, from one take to the other, you discover things on one take, and then this other person is in another state of mind, and that doesn't come to you. And you can fake what you remember doing that he did on the first take and actually do it before your line.
Check that shit out. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Edu. Thank you for sending us that. Jasper Molander, thank you. He sent us his reel through. We won't be able to get to it today because we've already been going for almost an hour and a half. But thanks very much. We'll do that. We'll do that next time. You'll be absolutely at the top of the list. Remember, anybody who's out there who's learned anything from what we've been talking about today, or has a show reel that they'd like us to go through. The other thing we're interested in looking at is photographs as well. That's another thing that we always enjoy doing. It's always good to put it out there, because the objective of this is not only to help the person who has sent us their reel, but also to the people who are maybe doing reels or have done reels or are editing reels or are thinking about the way to go about it. So we deal with the script, we deal obviously with the acting, we deal with the editing of these things. The lighting is also a very important issue sometimes. Very often you can fix something just by changing the order of it. That's an important thing too. And one of the things you'll hear from casting directors is they'll go, I need to be able to see who you are in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Because most of the time they won't see much more than that.
That's why we are also saying this, because that is what I think we give you, different things. Thank you, Stanislas. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Eduardo, for giving us the opportunity to actually, put a little bit of light in our thoughts. All these, notes, scrapping notes are going to be in the next book that we hope that you enjoy it. And that's also one reason why we are here, because more we see things, more we also learn. And thank you very much for everyone that actually brings us these highlights.
Yeah, and look, if you speak Spanish or want to improve your Spanish, we're live Monday to Friday in Spanish at 8 p.m. Central European time. And remember, we always have her. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna go and fix this right now. This is what I'm gonna do. Watch this. Look at that. We're back in action again.
Nice.
Okay. So we have a Patreon. Of course, we'll always continue to do these live streams for free, but we've been doing these for almost a year and a half right now. And one of the greatest things we've managed to do is to create a small community of actors and filmmakers in this silly confinement of ours. And we actually succeeded in putting 16 of those people in a movie. Not you get to be an extra. No, actual major roles in a film, which was shot some 6 weeks ago.
Very gratifying for everybody.
It was wonderful.
And it was wonderful. And thanks here to Pablo Moreno, who is really a very nice director.
So it's just to let you know that our objective is always that people can improve themselves, gain in confidence, feel they know what they're doing. And the objective always is for people to realize their vocation and
that they are not alone.
No, they're not alone, and they can, with enough, with being ready enough, have a decent career in this ridiculous business of ours.
We love you. Thank you very much. Next Thursday.
Más. Oh, sorry. At the end of every Spanish live stream, we say más y mejor, which means more and better. But it doesn't sound good in English. So I always just say onwards
and upwards.
That's it. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Okay, so that was now we're into our after show. I just wanted to remind everybody, I'm going to fix these things live because they're really annoying me. Remember, if this is your first time in YouTube, to subscribe to the channel, leave us a like. Check out the playlists. There's a playlist specifically in English. One of the things that we're going to have to start doing soon is that we did a series of Zooms last year with Australian filmmaker Philip Noyes, who made films like Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger, Salt, Rabbit Proof Fence, The Bone Collector, amongst many, many other things. And he was nice enough to
come with us.
Yeah, and give us his philosophy on directing and his relationship with actors, of his experience of working with Harrison Ford and Angelina Jolie and Denzel Washington, amongst many, many others. And also he came back and he did sort of an autopsy of the film Salt and what his philosophy was when he made it and how that all came about.
And all of this, we are going to put it
All
in
of
the
this
channel?
all of this will probably end up on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of chopping. It's all been chopped up. It just needs to be put into order. So we have that. And the other thing was that we had with us a whole thing that was about musicians with Craig Armstrong, the Scottish composer who wrote the music to Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, and The Great Gatsby, and even Love, actually. And a South African composer, and a Czech composer. And funnily enough, we actually had 4 people present, and they were all called Phil. And the other great thing was that we had Spielberg's musical editor, who was extraordinary as well, and who worked very closely always with James Horner, who sadly died.
So it's going to be all there in English on this channel for you guys to check it in, and we'll say it in one of those Thursdays when they're going to be ready, and it's going to be ready. They're going to be ready very, very soon.
Look, I'm gonna have to do a version of these are in Spanish. I'm gonna have to do one that's in English.
Exactly, you need that.
So that's give us a like and follow us on Facebook. That's what that means. Right, it's great. Remember, if you want to send us material that we can look at, showreels, photos, all the rest of it, you can send it to Scott. That's me at Familia de Cine. That's Familia, like you might hear it in Italian, de cine.com.
Thank you very much, guys. See you very soon.
Thanks very much. All the best, and you're all awesome, both collectively
and in person,
and as individuals.
As individuals.
Bye for now.